let's get fitting some footrests, shall we? So you're obviously going to need a pair of footrests. Kind of goes without saying. In order to fit them, you're going to need a 5mm Allen key, a 4mm Allen key, a 10mm spanner, and then in terms of the bolts that you'll have for it, you'll have two thinner, smaller bolts with washers for each, and then you'll have two larger bolts, each of which should have two washers each and also a nut at the end. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start with the back end of the footrest. Okay, so you've got the sort of longer slit eyelet, and then at the front end you've got the two separate eyelets. So we're going to start at the back with this long thin eyelet, and what you're going to do, you're going to take one of the smaller, thinner bolts. We're just going to start at the back end, go right to the back and line it up with the fitting point, and we're just going to hand tighten for now. I always, whenever I'm doing something like this, I always like to just hand tighten it, just get it loosely on, and not use the Allen keys straight away, and really tighten it up, because it just gives you a little bit extra play, so that if things don't line up absolutely amazingly, you've got a little bit of wiggle room. So now we're going to try and do the front. Now with these bolts, you have two washers. Okay, so what happens with this is you take one of the larger bolts with a washer, you line it up and you thread it through the mounting point, and then you're going to get another washer and put it on the other side, and then you're going to fix the whole thing together with a bolt on the other side. Okay, and again, just do this by hand for now. It's all just a little bit easier to do. You just want it to stay in place, and then we'll tighten it all up. Can be a little bit fiddly because you're doing it a bit unsighted, but you're just getting the bolt on the other side. There we go. And then there's a second one, so we're just going to do the same with the bottom eyelet here. So just remember, one washer on the bolt as you thread it through, and then the other washer goes on the other side of the mounting point, along with a nut, and we're just going to hand tighten that. Okay, so it's going to stay in place now. So now what we need to do is just tighten the whole thing up. So we're going to take a 4mm Allen key for the back two bolts, and very straightforward, just going to tighten these up. You don't need to go too crazy, you just need to be kind of hand tightened so that you can no longer turn it any further with just a single hand. Okay, then you're going to get your 10mm spanner, and you're just going to line it up with the nut on the back side of the mounting, and that's just to keep the nut still as you go in with the 5mm Allen key, and just tighten the whole thing up. Again, just hand tightening. So that's one, onto the second one. There we go. And there you go. That is footrest installed.